Okay, let's look at yesterday's experiment, the results of pulling a card out of a deck of cards numbered 1 through 10, and we're going to look at the theoretical probability or the simple probability first. So there is only one of each type of card in the deck. So there is one card that is got the number 1 on it, one that has the number 2, one that has the number 3, and so on all the way up to the number 10. So when we look at the probability of pulling a 1 out of that deck, there is only one card out of the 10 that has a 1 on it. The probability of pulling a 2 out of that deck, and you put the card back in the deck, so you still have 10 cards to pull from, it's 1 out of 10. You put that card back in the deck and you pull another card out. What's the probability of pulling a 3? Well, again, it's 1 out of 10 because there's 1 3 in that deck out of 10 cards. And it goes so on with all the others. It's 1 out of 10 for each of those numbers that are in the deck of cards. 1 out of 10. Now, if we add up all of these fractions, 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1/10 and so on, we would get 10 tenths, which is equal to 1, which is also 100%. Now, if I want to know what the probability is as a decimal, it would be 1/10 is equal to 0.1, and as a percent, it would be 10%. So there is a 10% chance of pulling a 1, a 10% chance of pulling a 2, 10% for 3, and so on down the line. All right, let's look at the results of one of your classmates' data. And I counted the outcomes, and the total is there are 30 outcomes. So there are 30 outcomes, as I had requested. Not everybody had 30 outcomes. Now, the probability of drawing a 1 out of the data that is here, so for this person's data only, the probability of drawing a 1, the experimental probability of drawing a 1 for this person's data is 5 out of 30. That experimental probability would simplify to 1/6. Then the probability of drawing a 9, there was only one outcome that this student had, so the experimental probability for this student would be that one outcome they had out of 30. So these are the experimental probabilities of drawing those numbers from the deck, replacing them, and then drawing another card and then recording the outcome. So the first one would be a probability of 5 out of 30, and then 6 out of 30 for 2, and 2 out of 30 for 3, 5 out of 30 for 4, 2 out of 30 for 5, 3 out of 30 for 6, 1 out of 30 for 7, 4 out of 30 for 8, 1 out of 30 for 9, and 1 out of 30 for 10. And if you add up each of these fractions, you add all those fractions together, you should end up with 30 out of 30, or 1 whole. And the data is going to be different for everybody's experiment. That is why it's called experimental probability. All right, now I've combined all the data from those of you that submitted your results to me on the Google form, and there were 1,281 pieces of data that were supplied to me. The first column of the data collected is what was the card that was being drawn from the deck, replaced, and then pulled again. The second column are the number of times that that card was drawn from the deck. And if you notice, most of them, all of these numbers are actually in the low 100s. The lowest one was 105 for pulling a 10 out of the deck, and the highest was 141 for pulling a 1 out of the deck. Now, the relative frequency is taking the number of times the number 1 was drawn and putting it over the total number of draws that we had. So we had 141 over 1,281 is the experimental probability for drawing a 1 out of a deck of cards 1,281 times. Now we can convert these fractions, because these are all fractions right now, and they're kind of hard for us to understand. We can convert these into a percent. So when I do the division, when I divide, and I will show you how we do the work, if I take 141, divide it by 1,281 equals whatever the number is, and in this case it's times 0.11, and then we multiply it by 100, we're going to come out to 11%. That's where that number is coming from. Okay, so that's the math that I'm doing to get from here to there. Now if we look at the percents show a similar story. All of these percents are between the lowest, which is 8.2%, and the highest, which is 11%. So those are actually very close to what we started off with, which was our theoretical probabilities. So here's our theoretical probabilities, where it is 10% chance for getting pulling each of these numbers out of the deck. So then when you're comparing them, you're comparing this experimental probability to the theoretical probability, and they are very, very close. So we did another good job, guys, with this experiment. So just for fun, we're going to look at what does the pie chart look like of this data. All right, so before we look at the pie chart, I did make a bar graph of all of our data for the cards, the number of the card pulled, and how many times it actually happened. And this is the data that was in the other chart. This is a little bit more difficult to work with because, again, you have to add them all up to figure out the total number of cards pulled, and then you would have to take the individual data points, divide them by the total, and then multiply by 100 to find the percent. Okay, so just for fun, I took our data, our percentages. I wanted to see how our percentages of rolling each of these cards stacked up against each other, and our pie chart is really close, really, really close. We can pick out the bigger sections. Our number 1 and our number 10 are the biggest and the smallest sections. But when you look at this, I mean, that's looking at it closely, but at first glance, we actually did pretty good, guys. So we're going to try one more experiment and see how that data comes out.